Episode 5 showed the human work behind integration, changing defaults, over-communicating, making room at the table, and learning how to become one team. But once people are in the room, the next question is whether the future is clear enough for them to build toward.
And it's interesting in this world of AI and technology that, we don't talk enough about the humans that kind of sit behind this and build this. So it's really interesting from that perspective. Talk to us about the vision a little bit. What is the kind of vision that's sort of driving all of this? What's the North Star that you're all aiming at?
Yeah, so when we brought the teams together, we did a very intentional sort of vision typing exercise, right? So there was already a lot of anchors around the vision as a business, where we wanted to go as a product, but most people are visual learners, right? They need to see what it can look like. So we did a few sprints around bringing to life what true integration looks like with these products and what that could be. And we built out a really wonderful experience that we could actually showcase at the company kickoff. And we showed that to the group, and they were able to see, end to end. It was maybe a 5 or 6 minute movie where what it could actually look like, and showing them, the art of possible. What is our North Star? Giving people a solid visual of this is the future, this is the potential of what we could be together, rather than just talking in, maybe more general phrases or presentations, and to digest that together in this theater space with your teammates beside you. And right after that, being able to turn to someone and be like, oh, can we how do we make that happen?
Yeah.
Or how do we connect? Or maybe we could do it this way. And I think it sparked a lot of ideas. And that in particular, just that visual North Star has been really impactful.
That is what made the North Star useful. It did not pretend the future was already finished. It made the future specific enough that people could start asking better questions. A visible future only matters if the people building it understand the complexity underneath it. The North Star gave the team something to aim at. The SAP expertise inside the team made that future more buildable.
How's that changed the way you're thinking about the design of everything to get to the vision? What has it brought to the party?
So initially, I got a lot of amazing outreach from the SAP design team and community, which is fantastic. So they started sharing some of their world, their design system, how they think about UX in a broader perspective. And then when it came to our product, some of it is tactical, right? How do you fuse these experiences together and keep the ease of use, keep the cohesion, make sure it's smooth across the board. And then from the other side, I would say it was more about how we anchor folks and tell them the right story for how design can evolve, because there's a lot of different directions it can go.
Yeah.
And I think also being able to iterate on that and being open to it. So not getting set in a specific way of doing things and starting to recalibrate.
The visible future becomes more credible when the builders have more context, more enterprise complexity, more customer variation, more integration history, and more lessons from what has worked before.
And what is it that they've kind of brought with them that sort of surprised or kind of impressed you?
I think what we have probably learned the most from them is getting a big appreciation for scale and complexity at the SAP level, right? So SmartRecruiters has always worked with large enterprises. That's not new to us, but just the level is different, right? And the amount of these large customers is very different in the SAP world. And there are many folks who have come over from the SAP team that have been at that work for a very, very long time. And they've seen all the different variations and versions of this play out. They have some great stories to tell and a ton of experience to bring. And then, of course, the technical expertise. And the big part, which I was talking about earlier with the theme, is they know how to connect throughout the suite, right? So that is super valuable expertise for us because that's what we're trying to do. And we can learn from all the mistakes from before and learn from all the wins from before. So that's great knowledge to have just sitting right within our teams versus having to maybe consult and pull that from other folks.
That is the difference between a vague future and a buildable one. The North Star showed what could be possible. The people inside the teams brought the experience to ask what would actually make it work. A vision does not have to be finished to be useful. It has to be clear enough to organize imagination, specific enough to expose the work, and credible enough that people can start building toward it. That is what the North Star did. It turned integration from a concept into an experience people could see, question, connect, and begin to build. But even the clearest vision stalls if people do not feel safe enough to learn, experiment, ask questions, and admit what they do not know. In the AI era, trust is not a culture accessory. It is infrastructure.